Hello, my name's Kenzie Wolf, and today I wanted to talk to y'all about what makeup mixing is and how it's impacted the YouTube community. And just seeing what it is, how it started, what has it become, and how does this impact what our understanding of YouTube and the beauty subgenre is like now. To give some context, makeup mixing is basically when a person, be a YouTuber, and what they go ahead and do is they take some form of makeup. So they take this medium, and what they do is they combine multiple types of this mediums. They add it all together, they mix it together to see what pretty much is created. And that's kind of like the general gist of what makeup mixing is. It's just this fun thing of seeing what is the combination of all these things considered. Now, first things first, I think in order to really understand this concept, it's really important to understand how exactly did makeup mixing really get its start when it comes to the YouTube community. And to answer that question, there is a YouTuber named Hello Mayfi who back in March 2017, she posted a video mixing all of her polishes together. This was around a 5-minute video, and so there were some cuts of the mixture she added in, mixing up, she showed the final product, things like that. But from there wasn't really a showing of how wearable it was, whether or not it was legit after the fact of all this mixing. And it kind of had like the initial like just trying something new. Her page, from what I can tell, is pretty well a DIY sort of video page in the first place. And so from there, though, it kind of evolved. It continued with nail polishes, but it had more of a YouTube video aesthetic that was really applied to it, as Simply Nailogical took it on and decided to do her own sort of approach towards this thing. So she kind of took it with, you know, adding in some jokes, adding in some cuts of random commentary, things like that. But she went through and showed putting on the polish, putting it into the specific little beaker that she was using, as well as just showing how it's on for her own nails, as well as creating one for her viewership. She had a lot of speed ups, things like that, and at the end of it she decided to wear it versus just kind of showing it in the beaker itself. After this initial video, there was a lot of blow up with her own usage of applying this nail polishy mixture kind of situation that was going on and somehow becoming a really cool thing on YouTube itself. And so with that, she ended up doing a similar video with her nail powders, and this powder video also got a lot of views. It had a lot of reaction towards it. People really enjoyed it. They seemed to think it was a cool thing. And from there, we see that Safiya Nygaard, she had her first video back in August 2017, where from Simply Nailogical's initial nail polish video, she decided that instead of nail polish, since she herself did not have a lot of that she was going to mix together nude lipsticks. So Safiya kind of took a similar approach with this idea of taking something that she had, and she was able to create her own mixture of sorts. She kind of coined these terminologies of Franken blank, bad makeup science, that kind of idea within this, and it sort of just became this trend that applied to all of her videos. So for Safiya's process, she kind of would do swatches, she would do showing the cutting process, the melting process, or mixing process, trying it on. She did a variety of different things, from lipsticks to highlighters, foundations. She went to Sephora and did a bunch of lipsticks there. She did bath bombs and candles, and just a lot of interesting combinations. So basically, she set it up with giving the criteria of what exactly she was trying to do in terms of what was included, what was not. So she would either give a name, or she would encourage her viewers to come up with a name for it. Towards the end of it, that she would wear them, and then she would go ahead and put it to a variety of different tests, whether that be different food tests, straw tests, finding dupes, smudge tests, things like that. I also think another really cool thing about with Safiya's channel and everything is the fact that she didn't just have this small little trend that started up and was kind of big for a little bit and then it went away. No, she since 2017 has been still making videos. Hello? In terms of other people who are also have become involved off of this, after these 2-3 initial YouTubers that really took it to the new extent, was we had Joey Graceffa, who he took it in a completely different direction by giving more interest and ideas to other things that could be mixed. Again, things that nobody would have thought of, but it still caused an interest. And yet it helped to expand the sub-niche kind of genre that had begun under this beauty genre, and it helped it to really evolve into something more of its own genre versus just something that was small and silly under the makeup genre. Some other YouTubers I came across was Naima Tang, as well as Alyssa Ashley. I know I saw many other videos, and I'm sure I'm not catching all of them, but just to kind of give that idea of how many there were, when I looked up makeup mixing, there were a huge number of videos that had been created under this context, which is super interesting, as well as there was a lot of slime videos, which I found just very interesting, that makeup mixing equaled slime, and I don't fully understand how they go together, but apparently they do. On top of all of these different YouTubers who kind of took this idea of makeup mixing and ran with it, BuzzFeed also took from it and they made their own sort of version of it by mixing together different foods and things like that. Again, not quite the initial makeup mixing idea that was present, but they did take it from there and apply it to a different way. Well, I think that we all have these really random questions of, if I mix all of these cookie doughs together, what's it gonna taste like? Or all of these cake flavors, or all these other things, you know? And I know for me, that's something that I've like considered before, but to see somebody actually do it was kind of cool, to be able to kind of see that and visualize it and fully be able to see this very intriguing yet very strange thing that is going on in front of you. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why is this such a big thing and why has it blown up to millions and millions of views on these videos? And to answer that question, I feel like one big thing has to do with the fact that there is an ASMR aesthetic attached to it, that watching people mix together all of these different foundations or all of these different nail polishes or eyeshadows or so on and so forth, and see this kind of mixture, it makes me think of just like when we as kids, we like to mix together all the colors of the paint to see what colors we can make, or different things like that. And I think that this aesthetic of ASMR just really pushes forward and creates this desire to watch and to be like almost mesmerized. Now, to answer that earlier question that I had about how in the world does this all relate to the wider makeup and YouTube community, I think one big thing is the fact that it has spread to non-beauty things. There is this one article called Exploring YouTube as a Transformative Tool and the Power of Makeup Movement, and kind of relating back to that, there is something in that article that the author, he quotes saying transformative, that regarding beauty vlogging is a transformative medium for working on producing and exploring the self. And I think, again, kind of like what I was saying earlier, but you know, we see this makeup science craziness exploring these depths of things that we all think about doing but never actually do ourselves. And within that, again, seeing people do crazy things, or things that we all think about doing or want to do sometime in our life but don't necessarily have the means, or maybe we don't have the total confidence to do it, or whatever it may be, seeing someone else do that, sometimes that can be just as cool as being able to do it ourselves. And within that, I think that this idea of this beauty vlogging, YouTubers apply these concepts to, and that they apply these things that we all consider to do. And so for us as a viewership, it becomes something that is truly exploring the self. So from the article, YouTube Digital Media and Society series, something else that they mentioned that I thought would have been good to consider is the fact that, quote, YouTube illustrates the increasingly complex relations among producers and consumers in the creation of meaning, value, and agency. I think this is so true, especially when you look at the fact that some of these little random genres or niches and things like that, such as makeup mixing, we see this bigger trend or bigger impact that they create over time, as this small little video that started out as something as silly as just mixing up some nail polishes has transcended into something more and getting multi-million viewership on them. So to wrap up for today, just some final thoughts. I think that this makeup mixing niche of a genre has really been able to blow up into something much more, and it's really awesome to see it, because it just kind of again shows that there are all these various niche, crazy little smaller subgenres and things that we all find very interesting or very intriguing and stuff like that, and from there we're able to join as a community and bond together over these various things at hand. And within that, I think it's really important to remember that these are communities that we're building, especially right now in a time of the coronavirus and everything, that we're able to again have these little communities that are building upon these things that we ourselves may not be able to do right now, but we can look at these older videos or even more current videos and gather together and enjoy them.